I Shalom, and they say, call Lord, Wahawala, which represent glory and evil, How Hashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Karadash, the one spouse, Ezra Milson, bless God, the elect, few sisters, and there's like foreigners just waking up strong and true. Alright, quick video, is DJ Trump, he's in office now, makes him the 47th president of the United States, I believe. And we know from his last time from being in the presidential office that this guy don't play, man. He does what he says, all right, and he's straightforward. Unlike a lot of these politicians, that's why a lot of people respect Trump, even Jake. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jake respect Trump, even though he's still working for the powers that be, but he kind of got his own personality. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, this dude straight up, man. All right, and then you can clearly tell like a lot of stuff that he say is not like he's saying himself. Basically, he's still going around along with the program of the elites, but like a lot of shit that come out of his mouth, man, you can just tell it's unscripted, man. This dude just he really speaking his own. He's speaking his own mind, basically. You know what I'm saying? From time to time. All right, the way he answers shit, you can tell that's him. Like ain't nobody like write a script for him just to say. Unlike Kamala Harris, that bitch had to have earpiece in her ear based on fixed questions of the crowd or interviewers. But this dude Trump, he giving his own 2 cents. All right, but anyway, this guy Trump, he said when he get in office, this is what he's gonna do. Okay, it says Trump. This is one of his main policies he's pushing too. All right, the war and this. It says Trump promised to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to launch a mass deportation. Now we got the migrants all over here. All right, a lot of them, Jake, come from South America. All right, and he's speaking about those gangs down there, South America. It's funny how they made it getting on the Jake migrants, man. All right, they ain't saying nothing about these Hamitic or Arab migrants too much, or Chinese migrants, or whatever. They made it get on Jake migrants. They used them Jake migrants, all right, from South America as their enemy, the face of the enemy. All right, until a lot of them motherfuckers, crisis actors, all right, sleeper cells, and then them other nations, a lot of them are UN troops. They sleeper cells. They UN troops, man. All right, they gonna be used for the martial law. All right, the dream that I forgot what brother posted a video on one of the GMS brother camps. He said how Jake Woman had a dream about it was troops and wearing all black, man. All right, and taking people out of their houses. That's in scripture. And the Apocrypha was 16, second to 16, like 70, 71, where it says they shall be like madman sparing none, and still spoiling them and take them out of their houses, them that fear the Lord, which mainly the elect. They here to get the elect, man. You regular jakes, they gonna get you anyway, but they really want to come out the men of the Lord, man. Okay? That's what it's about. Because we was the ultimate threat. All right, you 2/3 were no threat. You go out along with this program. The biggest threat to Esau was the elect men of the nation Israel. Jake. All right, the prophets. We're the threat, man. All right, because we're a spiritual threat, and spiritual threat is the highest form of any threat. All right, and we see because brothers ain't got no guns. We ain't got no we don't got like resources and shit like that. We still go to this man for everything as far as the physical. But we're a spiritual threat, man. All right, and he saw this with the left-hand side. He deals with Satan on the left-hand side. And he knows how important that spiritual side is. So we're a problem. All right, we are a problem. Although we ain't harming nobody physically, we're harming this man in a spiritual sense. All right, because that's how he keeps his rule. All right, through the spiritual side, he has to do all them sacrifices and conjuring the demons and Satan to maintain his rule. All right, and then uses his spiritual blessing, which is a physical blessing, is the sword, man, which comes in all forms, any instrument of killing. All right, it uses that to conquer the world, and it uses Satan. So those two things are being, many the spiritual side of it is being threatened. So the spiritual side being taken away, then the physical gets taken away. All right, but nonetheless, let me get to it. So what's like this Alien Enemies Act? I'm going to. Will the Alien Enemy Act make a comeback in a Trump second term? New York Times columnist Jamali Bowley recently recounted the last October Republican president candidate Donald Trump vowed on X that if elected, he will invoke the 1798 Enemies Act to liberate the country from immigrants once and for all. Trump's word: "We will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of your country." It was a neck-snapping flashback to my college government and historic courses in which the Alien and Sedition Act of 1798 under President John Adams was disputed as a huge blot of the country's civil liberty terms. Unfortunately, however, I have forgotten the circumstances which prompt these enacts. This column is not primarily about Donald Trump's views on immigration. Those have been applied document elsewhere. Instead, it is a summary of what led to the President John Adams and the Federalist majority of the Congress to target foreign nations in the U.S. At the heart of the 1798 legislation, Cuba was a raging war between Great Britain and France. I'm just going to read it. France, and very real perspective of the U.S. will be drawn down to conflict. The biggest worry about Adams' Federalists was the Thomas Jefferson Republican, beside the French Revolution, who had overthrown the monarchy in 1789. The greatest internal threat, as the Federalists saw it, were the estimated 25,000 Frenchmen in the country who had fled their home to take refuge in the U.S. Additionally, there were huge numbers the wild Irish who had fled in America the wake of their 1798 rebellion against the British. These Irish comprised an estimated 25% of the population of the Philadelphia, which still is this country's temporary capital. The Federalists and Congress sprung into action to pass laws to discourage, punish any action by such foreign nationals who had posed a clear and present danger to the stability of the country. While Adams is widely credited or criticized for the enactment of the Aliens measure, as biographic David McCulloch explains that Adams had not asked for encouragement. The extreme measures do he willingly sign them into law when they reach his desk. The legislature impugns language originated which individuals, Federalists, Congress. Briefly, there were 4 laws. The First Amendment Act, which I'm trying to see how long this is. Okay, just basically give you a brief history, where this Aliens Act came from. I'm trying to, I'm gonna try to get to it. Hold up. The legislation imputes language originated with individuals, Federalists, members of Congress. Briefly, there were 4 laws. There was First Amendment Act, First Nationalizations Act, which raised the residency requirements for civilization from 5 to 14 years. Second, the Alien Friends Act empowered the president to deport any non-civilian suspected of treasonable or secret machination against the government, whatever. The third, the Alien Enemies Act empowered the president to deport all natives, civilians, dozens or subjects of the hostile nation. Finally, the Sedition Act made it a crime to punish or utter false scandals and morales writings against the government, or to aid or encourage or abet any hostile designs of any foreign nation against the United States. Two of the four acts were allowed to expire following Adams' 1800 defeat by Jefferson, who has had his vice president. A third law was repealed by Jefferson with the aid of newly elected Republican majorities in both houses. Only the Alien Enemies Act remained on the books. So it's still on the books to say, because obviously he can use it. Two things should be understood about the Alien Enemies Act. First, it can only be operated when there is a declared war between the U.S. and any foreign nation of government. Well, there's a war on terrorism. All right, due to the was it NDAA Act, which Obama passed. All right, when that 9/11 situation happened, all right, they were saying like Saddam Hussein, like American civilians could, anybody that's hiding this guy, all right, as they harboring him as a refuge, you know what I'm saying, and he's an enemy of the state, you know what I'm saying, of the United States. All right, you can be labeled an enemy, so American civilians could be labeled enemies or terrorists, all right, due to that law. It says civilian or non-civilian. It's in that law. It says there was an act not triggered when enacted because the U.S. maintained a neutrality throughout the war between France and Britain and France. The second legislation authorized the president to make public proclamation of his intent of apprehending, restrain, secure, and remove foreign male nationals age 14 over since amended in 1918 included women as enemy aliens, whether or not they were present in U.S. legally. See that? They can be called enemies. All right. So you can be for the ones that got their paper with this act, he can deport you, man. If you're seen as a threat, even though a lot of migrants got citizenship, right? When you cross the borders, Donald Trump can still deport you with this act being passed, with this law being passed. The act has been invoked only 3 times over the last 2.25 centuries: the War of 1812 against Britain, and War I, and in World War II, the latest being the last war declared by Congress. The Alien Enemies Act was used during World War II to arrest and detain internment camps or military facilities more than 30,000 suspected enemies in the U.S. From Italy to Nazi Germany, the more outrageous occurrence was the internment of 100,000 authentic Japanese, but approximately 2/3 of these were U.S. Civilians. See that? 2/3 of them was U.S. civilians, and he used that during World War II. He put Japanese people in concentration camps, round them up, put them in concentration camps, who therefore had to detain under different legal authorities than the Alien Enemy Act. Even if Trump threatens to utilize the 1798 law to round up either detain, deport immigrants, the task would be hugely costly, litigious, and prolonged. Moreover, he would be challenged in the courts that the U.S. is not engaged in declaring war, and the president has no authority under the Constitution to unilaterally declare war on other nations. Several experts have pointed out that the president already has authority to expel undocumented enemies, war or no war, and need not to invoke the Alien Enemy Act. So why would he want to jump through all extra hoops? And even then, it still comes down to bottom line question: where's the money? So yeah, man, this guy Trump, man, he ain't playing. All right, and he's gonna be the one that's going to issue war. I think this dude gonna be the last president. This dude gotta be the last president, man. You know what I'm saying? Trump is gonna be the last president of Babylon, and this place about to see is gonna get involved in the third world war. Cause Trump, one thing about Trump, man, he don't play that shit, man. And we said Trump, I say all the time, Trump gonna clean house. Trump gonna clean house, man. He doing fucking around. All right, and he's a hard-nosed, masculine Edomite. Okay. So this whole thing about Trump, and he ain't gonna back down, basically. You know, even the powers that be got authority what he say. So like he's still like, it's the way this dude move. He's a businessman. All right, so his mind is oriented around that thinking. All right, so he's going to take the steps to go forward, the necessary steps to go forward. Revelation 2:12 it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil shall come down to you having great wrath, because ye know that he had a short time." Well, he had no short time of ruling. All right, it was prophesied that these Edomites was going to rule. All right, and in the last days, Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is beginning to follow. So as this man begins to go down, we're gonna rise up. All right, but before he goes down, this dude's gonna go on a massacre, a slaughter fest. All right, and murking you Jakes, man, because really that's all it's about. It's about getting you Jakes, man. That's what it's all about. All right. I mean, Esau got beef with these other nations too, like Ishmael and the Persians. All right, he having a hard time getting them this new order, but it's mainly for you Jakes, man. All right, the Lord cares about his people, man. All right, and the agenda is to get rid. What did Esau? What did he promise when he lost his birthright to Jake? He said he gonna kill him, man. All right, he vowed to kill Jake. So in scripture say he kept his anger forever. So he never lost. He never took that hatred out of his heart. All right. So yeah, man. DJ Trump, he probably gonna be the last president, man. I don't see it go past him. I really don't see no more presidents being elected past this dude, man. He's gonna be the one to fulfill it. He's got 4 years of presidency to do it. So, man, time is short. Time is short, man. Between these 4 years of being president, that's why he got the. I'm gonna go into that next, man. But yeah, with that being said, man, that this is on cracking. Whatever, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, but you must shout the arms, Pastor Elder Great. This one must go to the lake. Few sisters is like phone show room.